Teagle can also handle the basketball, but Tony Smith will probably act as the point guard. Teagle will run off the basketball.
Coach gets them both. He has 4. Talking to Michael yesterday, asked him if he's excited to play against the Lakers. He goes, no, I've played against them before. The rest of my teammates, he said, are excited. Ball kick. 2:24 for the Lakers. They lead it by 4, 2 ticks away from an even 3 minutes in the first.
Last year in the Open in Barcelona, the zone defense really bothered the New York Knicks. No one could make an outside shot. It almost cost them the game. They finally won in overtime. Tony Campbell on the weak side wants a lob. He's really working hard on the baseline, so he might try to lob over the defense.
Smith inside to Campbell. Over Boucher.
I tell you, if Eldon Campbell could ever play consistently for this team, he would give them an unbelievably gifted player that can play about 3 positions.
Well, Ostrowski decided to... Timeout. 2:36 remain to be played in the first quarter. The Lakers lead Limoges 26-20. We'll be back. Operations in the NBA looks much more relaxed. Probably rather watch a McDonald's game than coach in one.
1-3-1 half-court trap. 4 pass by Tony Smith.
Brooks looks to boot there. Eldon Campbell, fancy footwork on the baseline, gets tied up in a camera, able to get away. The Lakers buy a break.
Another bad pass by Tony Smith. 2 turnovers in a row.
And that's too bad because he is really being counted on this year. Played well at times last year in his first year out of Marquette, as you mentioned.
As a young player, you must really concentrate. You've got to, when you come off the bench, get yourself ready to play because he's not going to be a starter on this ball club. So he's going to have to be ready to play the minute he gets in off the bench.
Ostrowski now with 6 points. Biggest lead of this ball game was 8 at 20-12. It is now down to 4. We're inside of 2 minutes.
1-3-1 zone again. Tony Campbell or Eldon Campbell wants a lob. Teagle with the jump shot. Quick shot. Eldon Campbell really wants a lob on the baseline. It's wide open if they'll look over the top.
Teagle was 10 of 35 from three-point land last year with the Sonics. Comes Street with the Michael Jordan hairdo. Top to Smith. Campbell has it blocked as he goes down hard. Daiquiri with the block. To Brooks. The baseline jumper won't go down, and Worthy tips it to himself.
They're getting some pretty good shots. Ostrowski has penetrated and dropped it off for a couple shots. The jumper just will not go. This zone is bothering Los Angeles right now. There are some holes in it if they'll be a little more patient. There's the lob on the baseline that Eldon Campbell has wanted the last 2 times down the floor. Worthy finally finds it, and it'll be a 3-point play opportunity. See, Ron, when you play a 1-3-1 zone defense, the ball goes, when it goes to the strong side, that weak side wing has to cover back. Many instances cannot get back there soon enough, so the lob cross-court pass on the baseline will be open.
Campbell with 5 points. He averages just 2.8 in 52 appearances last year for the Knicks. Inside of a minute, Lakers up by 7. Brooks is 1 of 6 from the field. Daiquiri inside the reverse. He's got it.
Strong move with good patience. Tony Smith initially played good defense. Daiquiri hung with it and got the score. Campbell again wants the lob. Keep our eye on there he is right there. It's wide open.
Oh, that was an athletic move by Eldon Campbell, the former star from Clemson.
The 1-3-1 again. That diagonal pass will be open to Campbell. They're going to have to make an adjustment.
7-point lead.
Smith can't leave him. He tried to help out. Daiquiri's one of their top scorers. Tony Smith got to stay at home.
Daiquiri with 2 3-pointers cuts that lead down to 4. Worthy with a 3 himself. James Worthy, who only hit 29% of his threes last year. And Ostrowski answers. Shot on the way, won't go down. Daiquiri will throw it the length of the floor, and he throws it over the backboard. We have played 12 minutes, and the Lakers lead it by 5, 34-29. We have spent a week in Paris. It is a fabulous, incredible city, and one of the most impressive sights is the beautiful Eiffel Tower. The Lakers have had their share of sightseeing, and of course they dress incognito, so nobody will know who they are. But they did have a chance to see the Eiffel Tower, much to the delight of the Parisians and the Americans who are also visiting this fine city. The business district of Paris, just down the road from the Palais Omnisport.
Take a look at a nice play here by Richard Dackery. You're going to see initially good defense by Tony Smith. He stops sliding his feet right there. Dackery continues to use his strength, does not pick up his dribble. Fine reverse layup, no weak side help, and a nice score. Now this is the diagonal pass against the zone, the 1-3-1. The wing cannot get back there to cover. Eldon Campbell now with two easy layups. That was not an easy play, but you see him wanting the lob right there, and a spectacular finish. Eldon Campbell with two nice baskets on the baseline. I think it'll be interesting, Ron, here in this second quarter. The pace of this game has been so fast. Will the Limoges team be able to continue to do this with their substitutes on the floor? Dackery takes the feed, Gutierrez down, Ostrowski. So we'll see now with this team on the floor, three substitutes if they can keep this pace.
It's Rulo Lejeune, number 6, is checked into the lineup, a 6'5", 28-year-old, as is Mark Mbaya. Where's number 12?
Mbaya is very, very athletic. You're going to see him. He's a spectacular leaper, and he must be checked out because he can get to the board and sky.
Campbell with pretty quick hands. Shot clock at 1. Mbaya! Oh, you talked about it, Doug. Mbaya with his first 2.
This is his first year at this level of play, and they expect major things from him. They feel it's going to take a while, but he should be a tremendous player for this team. Another athletic player to go along with Michael Brooks, Dackery, and Ostrowski.
Shot on the way by Treat, in and out, no good. Rebound, Brooks.
And they're really looking to throw the ball ahead.
Yeah. And the coach, Olivier Verret, says, slow it down, gentlemen. Dackery has sat down with 10 points. Limoges 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Lakers shooting better than 50%. Limoges just under.
It's under a 2-1-2 zone now to prevent the little lob on the baseline, so Limoges changed their defense.
Tony Smith, a nice, pretty follow through.
See how easy that 22-foot shot is for an NBA player. They're so used to the 23-9. 22 at that foot 9 makes a big, big difference.
Smith, who did not hit a three-point play all of last year, was 0 of 7. From Freak. Good look inside to Perkins, goes up with the left hand off the glass.
Dale Freed in the ball game can push the ball up the floor, so can Tony Smith, so they really have a two-guard front. Either guy with the opportunity to run the fast break, the other guy then becomes a lane runner. Again, some flexibility and versatility they did not have last year.
Lakers have matched their biggest lead as Brooks pulls the trigger from outside and drains it.
It's good to see Michael Brooks play this well after really tearing up a knee in the States playing with the San Diego Clippers. He was a first-round pick there in 1984, played on the 81, played on the 80 Olympic team, so it's good to see him playing so well.
Ball knocked around, controlled by Limoges. And Tony Smith almost picks the pocket of Lejeune, not able to get it. He's got another substitution.
Enrique Forte back in after picking up 3 early fouls in the first quarter. Starting point guard now back in the ball game.
Julien will sit down. Outside, Michael Brooks.
Michael Brooks is the emotional leader of this team. You've got Ostrowski, who's an excellent player. You've got Dackery, but the emotional leader of this team is Michael Brooks. You see the 3-2 zone defense now. Michael Brooks out on the point.
This is his 4th year with the Limoges. Michael Brooks, Magic getting ready to check back into the lineup. Perkins gets the basket and the foul.
See the Lakers are so big. You play the zone, you've got to cover the three-point shooters. The ball goes inside. You've got Sam Perkins at 6'10" with the arms to make him about 72. And there's no one on this team really can contest that. They've got to hope that they can just keep the Lakers somewhat slowed down because if the ball gets inside, the Lakers have a major advantage.
Smith and Freak sit down. They've got Freak still in the ball game. Smith sits down. Magic comes back in. Lobby Divac comes in. AC Green sits down. Look at Sam Perkins. Perkins, who averaged 13.5 a game last year for the Lakers in his first season after spending all those years with the Dallas Mavericks.
See Sedale 3 get up, put pressure on the basketball. This is something also they did not have last year. Someone that could get out and really pressure the point guard.
Oscar, the left hand. Three-pointer on the way. That was probably from the NBA line. Perkins tracks down the loose ball. 4-on-2. The Magic Man to Vlade. Biggest lead of the game for Los Angeles. It is 9. Limoges setting up a little more half-court offense.
Trying to slow this Laker attack down just a little bit.
Mabaya?
It's quick.
Well, he is. The rebound clean by Perkins. He goes down hard as Michael Brooks comes up with a foul.
No one does it better. Magic Johnson in the open floor sees everyone, but you know what? He warns the big guys. Sedale 3's there, but the big guy's out running on the break, so you give him the ball. That's twice now Divac has run down the floor to get dunked. Look at Vlade pushing hard, telling Sedale, get down the floor, take the defense with you. The defense goes back. It frees up Vlade for the dunk.
Vlade, who spent some time lifting weights this summer, what the Lakers wanted him to do last year. He hurt his back, but he says he's really improved some of his strength.
Against the zone defense, when you drive the ball into the gaps, you force two people to play you. You get cutters going to the basket. Magic is big enough to see right over the top. And when he did, he found A.C. Green. We're going to see a three-guard attack now from the Lakers. The first time we've seen this. You've got Byron Scott. Magic moves to the small forward, and you have Sedale 3 with Perkins and Vlade Divac. Very interesting attack. Now Perkins is the power forward.
Magic usually guards a forward anyway, so it's really not an adjustment defensively for him.
The big difference now is, though, Magic will be played by a forward.
They love that.
See, a forward will play him. The other two guards now will play the other guard, so this should give him an advantage quickness-wise against the other forward.
Lejeune is guarding him. Number 6 only stands 6'5". Shot clock at 2. Freet's going to have to let it go from just inside of 3, and he nails it. That's Sedale's first 2 in Paris. Lakers by 11, their biggest of the game. Inside, Costner, not a very pretty shot.
See, Magic is running on the lane now. You have Freet in the middle. This is a new spot for Magic. I've never seen him run the lane on the fast break before.
Oh, Vlade Divac on Magic Johnson's little alley-oop pass. That's more of an alley. You wouldn't even call it an oop.
That was a mini-oop.
8 now for Vlade. We mentioned playing in front of his mother and father, his 2-month-old baby boy. Forte for 3. Now Limoges has to be careful, Doug, if they just start putting it up immediately, trying to get back into this game.
Well, you see right now, Ostrowski's going to have to come back in the ball game. Michael Brooks will probably only get about a minute's rest and have a timeout.
We talked about the mini-oop. Let's take a look at it again. Johnson to Divac.
You see two guys hit this ball, but it goes into the basket. Assist for Magic Johnson. Vlade touches it second. He gets the score.
LA on a 9-0 run. They lead it by 13. We're back at the Palais Omnisport de Paris-Bercy, where the Lakers lead Limoges, and former Laker Kareem Abdul-Jabbar looking on him. Boy, what an ovation he got when he walked in the arena, Doug.
One of the all-time great centers, and it's good to see Kareem here tonight with his Laker ball club, and he's meant so much to that Laker team, and through the years.
Well, Magic Johnson has 5 NBA titles, none, however, since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has retired. And Vlade Divac, the heir apparent to Kareem. And people, I think, have to remember also, as you look at the Laker run, is Vlade Divac is still very young, Doug. He's only 23 years old. Technically, this would probably be his rookie year if he had gone to American college.
Well, he had a great year. I think they're really wanting him to build off the year he had in the playoffs last season against Chicago and Portland, where he played exceptionally well. So if he can continue to pick that up, and they get, remember, this is Perkins' second full year with the team also, so he was new to the team last year. You're adding Sedale 3, so still guys getting adjusted.
Ostrowski inside. Vlade gets the hand up, but Ostrowski's able to battle his way in for his 10th point. Boy, the Lakers really pushing up.
Back to that zone defense again. No one finds Magic.
Magic for 3. They work on that in practice. Standing there shooting the threes, and Magic now with 5 to go along with 8 assists. 14-point Laker advantage. 6:20 left to be played in the first half.
I like this Dackery. He's got some athletic skill. Took the ball past Byron Scott. Floated to the basket. Missed the shot, but nice move.
You saw him block Eldon Campbell's shot.
It's so different to see Magic Johnson running on the wing here without the basketball. You see him in the middle. Now I think Vlade's at home here in Europe.
Yeah. Vlade, 5 of 14 during the NBA season, drains that one for a 17-point Laker advantage. James Worthy up off the bench for Los Angeles. Forte being guarded by Perkins. Big height mismatch there. Inside, Mabaya can't get it. We'll have another. Forte for 3. He's got it. Forte now with 6. 2 3-pointers. Pace is slowed down. Lakers still dominating. Dackery for 3. Barely clips it in.
That was a frozen Dackery there.
That's good. That's good. It's not even a blowout yet. 5:13 left to be played as Worthy checks into the lineup for the Lakers. The Lakers now go with Worthy, Byron Scott, Vlade Divac, Magic Johnson, and Sam Perkins. Sedoltry sits down. Byron's upper body is incredible. I don't think people realize how big he is.
205 this year. He weighed at 195 last year. 10 pounds of muscle, all of it in his chest and arms and shoulders. So good to see Byron be in such great shape. He's always blamed for so many of the Laker woes. If they don't play well, it's Byron's fault. Naturally, I'm a little biased because I like Byron. So
outlet to Scott. Lakers now with a 3-on-3. Magic loses the handle. And now Limoges with a 4-on-2. Ostrowski over Divac, the high off the glass, and Vlade wanted a push-off.
well, I'm sure Mike Dunleavy likes the pace of this game right now. He wants the team running, using it as an opportunity to get his guys some minutes on the floor, get them in shape. You know, Magic a little heavier this year than he's been in the past. Sedale Freed a little bit heavier, so a couple of those guys need some running to get in shape.
For Byron. In and out. Forte almost loses the handle, comes up with it. Limoges trailing by 14 inside of 4 minutes. Another 3 on the way, trying to get back into this ball game, and when you miss, you shoot your way out of it. Byron Scott had a baby boy last year during the season. Darren Anton shot blocked.
We don't see this too often. Magic Johnson losing the ball in the fast break. Tries to spin here and just can't quite make the move. Not quite in shape where he can make that play that he normally makes. Forte comes up with a loose ball, feeds Ostrowski for the driving layup. Ostrowski playing very nicely. Very active player for a big man.
And Sam Perkins at the line. 82% free throw shooter last season for the Lakers. Played 73 games, started 66 of them.
Silent Sam.
Had the longest arms, wore jersey number 41 as a Maverick because he said that was his sleeve size. Now he's wearing 14. There's about 3.5 left in the first half. Lakers by 16. Gutierrez will check back into Limoges' lineup.
Hey, Richard Dackery taking the ball right past Byron Scott. That's 3 times now where he squared him up, crossed him over a little bit with a step, and took the ball right to the basket. Watch him here, square him up, just a little rocker step there, and push off, take it right to the basket with the foul.
Smith will come back into the Laker lineup. Byron Scott has picked up his second personal foul. Will take a seat. Gutierrez also checked in. Limoges, no free throw attempts in the second quarter. We're 6 of 6 in the first. It shows they're shooting a lot of outside shots.
I can see that Stefan Ostrowski really would be tough in this league over here. Not facing near the side he's facing tonight, still being very effective. Michael Brooks really shooting that face-up jumper very well.
Have you seen Michael Brooks in this good of shape?
Never.
He is
Since he was in
incredible.
LaSalle.
Oh, yeah.
When he was in LaSalle, when I was playing with the Sixers, he was like this. But he really has become a physical fitness nut. I saw him doing push-ups yesterday in practice, and he's very, very happy on this team. Loves it over here.
Not too many players in America do push-ups during practice when they're not told to.
Usually that's punishment.
Yeah, exactly. Vlade and Perkins can't get the connection. Turnover to Dacary with the right hand. Strong to the hole. Dacary now with 12.
The thing I like about this Limoges team, they're not backing down at all. They're playing this aggressive zone defense now. Looks like a 1-2-2 now, a little bit off-centered.
Magic for three, doesn't get it. Boucher with the rebound, the outlet to Brooks. He'll get it to Forte.
They're looking to pull up and take shots. They're not holding the basketball. You've got to give them credit. They're really working to try to make things happen.
Brooks is telling us he really feels that this Limoges team is the best in Europe right now. Worthy takes it strong over Boucher, doesn't get it. So we have a foul, and that'll be Boucher's first personal foul.
The aggressive defense, the double team, Vlade a little lazy in the trap. Frederic Forte on the fast break, dishing to Richard Dacary. The nice finish brings Limoges to within 12.
Well, the NBA, as we will mention throughout today, has put on quite a show here. They bring the Gorilla, they bring the Charlotte Hornets, they bring the Daredevil jumpers. If you ever see them in an NBA arena, we've seen them probably 50 times, and they still are exciting. And right now the Lakers are exciting. They lead it by 12 inside of 2 minutes. Vlade Divac's 5 of 5 from the floor, 11 points, 3 rebounds. Magic already 9 assists.
You know, Ron, one of the things I find so very interesting is that the players here, the fans are so familiar with them. And when they were introduced, I mean, you would think that the Lakers were playing somewhere in the United States. The players are so well recognized. I think that says so much for the NBA and the way it's being marketed today. Magic Johnson's picture was all over this city as we were out taking our walk.
We're walking down the Champs-Élysées today, and all we saw are Bulls jerseys, Celtic, Laker jackets. And this is the kind of street that you don't see that kind of stuff. Dacary has to give it up. Ostrowski way out there. Shot clock inside of 9, and Limoges will throw it away. Lakers will have the ball with 1:38 left to be played in the first half.
It's a big minute 38 right now for Limoges. They've been very competitive. They're at 12 points. They don't want to leak it away any further. They want to stay within 12-13. They want to let the Lakers run off 6-8 points here and run it to a 19-21 point game before they go in at half.
Worthy pops out on top, down low into Perkins with the left hand. AC Green, as he does so well for the Lakers, can't get it to go down, though. Magic to AC again. Same result. Perkins, third time, fourth time. The fifth time a charm. Ball loose on the floor, and we'll jump it up.
You can just see the players are not in great shape yet. They're not able to finish around the basket. Perkins had a couple easy shots, so did AC Green. The lift is just not there yet. They're not in the playing shape that they're going to need to be in. You see Sam right there, had the shot, only could get about 2 inches off the floor right now. Legs just not responding the way the mind would like for them to.
Well, after 5 misses in a row, Perkins tries to tip it to Worthy, and he takes it away from Forte. Nearing the 1 minute mark of the second quarter, Lakers by 13.
3-2 zone again by this Limoges team. Wide open baseline jumper. Big possession right now for Limoges. Down 15 again. Only about 51 seconds to go in the half.
Michael Brooks short.
Not a good shot there by Michael Brooks. This is going to be a fast break layup for the Lakers.
They'll get a couple of chances before halftime. That's a strong move by the former star from Marquette.
Need to use some clock here. Frederic Forte needs to calm these guys down.
Three-pointer won't go down. Worthy takes it away from Brooks. Outlet to Magic. 3-on-3. Magic right around Forte to Perkins, and this time he finishes.
These people have never seen anything like Magic Johnson in person. Might have seen it on television, but up front, up close and personal, Magic Johnson is the real thing and the best ever on the fast break. Look at this. Look away. And I think Magic would probably tell you and agree with me right now, he's not in the shape he's going to have to be in during the season, but still no one runs the floor in the middle of the fast break better than Magic Johnson.
Well, he has 11 assists already, Doug, as the Lakers have gone on a 7-0 run.
That's what I talked about. It was a 13-point game. It's now 19. Last possession here for Limoges. See if they try to go to Daiquiri to get the last shot.
Shot clock is off. What's the Forte? Up to Forte. He'll try the three again, and this time he buries it. He has 3 3-pointers.
That's a nice hoop for them.
Perkins just throws up the prayer at the buzzer, and he's got it. Oh, I don't think he called that shot. I don't think he called it, Doug.
Tony Smith going, shoot it, shoot it. He had no idea how much. This was a half hook. Tony Smith yelling at him, shoot the ball. He just throws it over his right shoulder. The ball goes in the basket. I'm sure Mike Dunleavy would like to save a few of those for the regular season.
Well, we've played 24 minutes at the Palais Omnisport de Paris-Bercy, and right now the Lakers lead Limoges. Ernie Johnson will be back with halftime right after this.
Limoges 67-49. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta with the Prudential halftime report. Lakers trying to follow the lead of the Bucks and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There, you know, in the French league, you probably don't see too much of this big old 6'8" point guard driving the lane and jamming that thing home. 20-12 Lakers there. Then it's Richard Daiquiri. Doug Collins has had enough fun with his name, I won't touch it. But what a great move. Off the glass right there, cuts the lead to 29-24. Magic, though, with his specialty, the dish. But the other way, dish it this way, there's Vlade in stride, and Divac throws it down for a 44-35 Laker lead. And they've been pouring it on ever since with a 67-49 advantage at halftime.
Commissioner who's seen the NBA really grow in Europe, that has to make you very proud.
This is kind of goosebumps time. Here they come out, and the mostly French audience is...
Starters in four starters in double figures. The fifth, Magic, had 11 assists, and there is one of them to Sam Perkins underneath. Back to live action. The Lakers will go with their same starting lineup that began the game. Perkins, Worthy, Divac, Byron Scott, and Magic in the back. Good position and gets the easy two.
Now 6 for 6 for Vlade.
Abaya gets the call in the second half for Limoges. Gets the starting nod. They'll go with Michael Brooks, Mabaya, Daiquiri, Ostrowski, and Forte.
So they'll go with a quicker player over instead of Tony Costner.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Daiquiri takes it in the paint. The finger roll with the right hand, and we're going to have a blocking foul called on Sam Perkins. That'll be his second personal foul.
Sam Perkins upset. He thought he was in the position to take a charge. Blocking foul call. So as the shot clock winding down, Richard Daiquiri with his quickness and his ability to get to the basket draws the foul and gets 2 free throws.
32-year-old Richard Daiquiri stands 6'4". We see the numbers on him. Member of the French national team. A real hero in Limoges.
Thought he needs to tie his sneaker or trip over a lace.
He does. Limoges about 3 hours south of Paris. Ball goes out, and it'll belong to the Lakers.
Vlade overpassed. He had a layup, tried to make the extra pass. Again, you see the 3-2 zone defense trying to prevent the Lakers from getting the ball inside.
Magic just has to put it up as the shot clock goes off. Some of the players stood around. He did get it off in time. It's a little cold here to start the third quarter.
I don't think they got warmed up really well to start this third quarter. It looks like they're a little stiff coming out of the locker room.
Well, they didn't come out with about 2:50 left, so they only had about 2 minutes probably to really loosen up. Limoges, on the other hand, out for about a complete 5 minutes.
Man-to-man this time down the floor. Vlade again with a 3-point. Is that a 3-pointer or
2? He is 7 of 7, Doug. My goodness. On the year, Vlade Divac shot 57% from the floor last year, among the NBA best.
Oh, great catch and a great 3-point play opportunity.
Third personal foul on Perkins.
Ostrowski with the drive, nice pass for the easy layup. Daiquiri at the line now shooting 2 free throws. He gets the first one. Again, very athletic player, exciting jumper around the basket, has 3-point range, and was the third leading scorer in this Limoges team last year, averaging a little over 16 points a ball game. Michael Brooks at about 20. Ostrowski had 22.
And Byron lights it up.
Byron Scott finally found the range. Shot 5 for 8 in the first half.
14 points now for Scott. That was his average of the 90-91 season. Ostrowski with Sam Perkins all over him. He fights his way up for 2. He now has 14 points.
Now, if Vlade makes that one, let's go home.
Pack the bag. He's got 2 3-pointers.
Pull the plug.
18 points for Vlade Divac. The European-style basketball, the big men in Europe aren't afraid to go out and shoot the 3.
That 22-foot 3-point shot again we talked about makes it a lot nicer also.
Messiah rattles the rim. Mbaya now, with his first 2, has 4 for the ball game. 2 in the second half. Magic's launched up a lot of 3s, and he misses that one. Still a scoop shot, doesn't get it. The tip won't go. Magic battles for the rebound and gets it. Talk about the minutes, Doug, of Magic Johnson this next year. Will the Lakers be in trouble if Magic sees 36 minutes a game or 37 like he did last year?
Well, I think that if they can keep his minutes around 34, 35, they'll be okay. The problem was last year, Mike Dunleavy would substitute and the Magic would sit down. They had really no one to run their offense, so you see the offensive foul there on Sam Perkins. It's his 4th. You know, you want to rest the guy, but at the same time, the end result is you've got to win basketball games to put yourself in a position to have home court advantage in the playoffs. So these other players, specifically Sadale Threet and Tony Smith, have to play well so Mike Dunleavy can rest Magic Johnson.
Back for his shot won't go down. And Mbaya tried to slam it, but hasn't the search for the backup point been an ongoing expedition for the Lakers?
I think it'll always be that way with Magic because Magic has played so many minutes. Here's Mbaya.
6 for Mbaya, and it is down to a 16-point Laker advantage, and we have a timeout. 8:12 remaining to be played in the third, and this is a power slam coming up.
Byron Scott misses the jumper. Nice rebound and outlet pass. Michael Brooks to Mbaya. And you see the athleticism, flying left-handed dunk.
Feelings about his parents coming here?
I'm happy too because, you know, it's, I know how it's that important things for them, you know, to see grandchild first time. And they have a chance to see him because Lakers coming to play in Paris, and it's close to my home, you know, and they're coming today.
Vlade and his lovely wife Anna, proud parents of a baby boy born in July, and this is a young man who's going through an emotional war himself because of his home country of Yugoslavia. Outside where they can't go, and the civil war they're in the middle of. AC Green battling underneath hard.
AC Green is coming to the game for Sam Perkins, who has picked up his 4th foul, so you see the importance of AC Green being able to come in and spell either a James Worthy or a Sam Perkins along that front line. As always, a lot of trade rumors surrounding an AC Green. Just recently, you've heard such things as AC Green to Miami for a Willie Burton. I don't know where that will happen, but AC Green just sort of rides with it all and just plays hard every single night. You know what you're going to get from him. Last year went from a starter to a sub, and, you know, if he didn't like it, he never complained. He just played his heart out.
Talked to him at length about the trade rumors. He says, I hear it every year. He goes, I'm very at peace with myself and what my job is in life. He goes, whatever comes, I'll accept it. And they have plans for him also putting his hands on the ball a little bit more this next year, at least in theory. He says he would love the opportunity because he did it in college. Magic all the way with a little magic of his own. Magic's first 2 of the second half, he has 7. Pascal Julian can't get the pass to go inside, and we have a substitution. Bruno Lejeune. Here's Magic.
Again, the size of Magic Johnson. He gets in the air. You know what happens when you play Magic? You expect him to pass it. So everybody backs off the pass, and he ends up with a lot of easy layups because he's so unselfish. He wants to pass. In the end result, he gets a lot of easy baskets because people play for the pass.
Ostrowski with another 2. That is 4 here in the second half. 16 for the ball game. Compare enchantement. Magic in French. His style of play and especially his smile, that translates in any language. As Byron knocks down the 2. 4 here in the second half. 16 for the ball game. His high during the regular season last year was 32. Here he comes back again. AC, good little body on Ostrowski, who takes a seat in the expensive seats. Green with 5, Lakers by 21, and the head coach of Limoges, Olivier Vallet, says this is getting away from us. We better talk about it. 6:29 left to be played in the third quarter, and it's all Los Angeles. We'll be back. 3:62 is our score. 6:29 remaining to be played in the third quarter. Vlade Divac, 8 of 8 from the floor, 2 3-pointers, 18 points to go along with 8 rebounds. He remains in the ball game. Lakers still going with their starting 5, except for the AC Green going in place of Sam Perkins. On top to Ostrowski. Just inside, a 3 doesn't get it to go. Mbaya battles inside, loses the ball. Tell you what, this is a guy sitting next to us now. Everybody knows him, but I don't think anybody realizes that at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's 40 degrees in Paris. He's getting ready to go golfing the other day in the hotel lobby. And you must be a golf fanatic now, besides being basketball. It was cold that day, Julius.
Well, you had already been out.
Yeah, right.
But not golfing. Rounding the croissants, right?
Julius, are you surprised of the popularity here in the NBA? The fact that when you come in, people are giving you a standing ovation and Vlade Divac 6-2 and the 3. Were you surprised by all this?
Well, not at this stage. You know, I've been working with the NBA for the last 4 years, so I've been going abroad and being a part of the McDonald's Open for the last 4 years. And we've seen this thing grow in that period of time.
Julius, it's got to make you feel so great. I mean, you were part of the NBA when it was an infant, really, and to see now Magic and Michael, and a lot of guys get a lot of credit, but the spectacular things you did, and it must give you a lot of joy to see them today.
Well, Doug, you were a partner in all that, you know, so don't discount yourself, because I threw some bad passes to you that you always caught. But I'm very, very pleased. Ecstatic is a better word with how far the NBA has come. Not only in terms of the players and popularity of the players, but all the things that are associated with the NBA in this modern era.
You said you've been part of the McDonald's Open. When that first McDonald's Open was held, did they have any idea that it would become this big and such an annual event?
Well, actually, the first game was in Milwaukee, and, you know, at that time it was just perceived as a preseason exhibition. And now, even though it's still held in the preseason, this is something that the NBA team always looks forward to. Especially the whole city always looks forward to. And I think the fans back at home look forward to it. I hope so anyway.
Vlade Divac just hit his third 3-pointer. He's 10 of 10 now from the floor. Not a bad evening for Vlade.
Not too bad at all. And I think he's familiar with the terrain.
Okay, now I've got you here. What kind of guy seriously was Collins? I mean, we understand he's a ball hog and stuff like that, never took a charge, but honestly, was he a good player?
Well, we're not talking about the same guy. I mean, you know, Doug, to me, probably had as great a work ethic as any player that I ever played with. He always came to play, and with that little frail body of his, you know, he would move like grease lightning. Made some of the greatest plays that I ever saw as a basketball player make.
We actually got
That's
the
not to make
alley-oop
you blush,
started.
Doug. I really enjoyed playing with you.
We really got the alley-oop started when you came into the NBA. We had a lot of fun with that.
What we used to call that the L play.
That's right.
Right.
That's
that was
right.
a real secret weapon,
right.
You
We disguised
put in
it
the
well.
L play.
The shot will go down. The Lakers running again. 3.5 left in the third quarter. They lead at 94-66 as we have a whistle and a foul called.
Julius, what do you think about this Laker team this year with the addition of Teagle, Tony Smith now as a second-year player, Eldon Campbell? Are they good enough to be able to win a championship, you think?
Well, you know, I had a chance to talk with Mike Dunleavy a couple of days ago. He's really high on his team. And personally, I was a little surprised that they made it to the finals last year. But they proved their worth, and they were a good representative of the Western Conference. Chicago was just, you know, in the bubble. And this year, Mike seems to think that he has a better club than he had last year.
So it'll be very, very interesting to see how things progress with them. With the addition of their new players, very high on three. Eldon Campbell showed in the playoffs what he can do, so very high on them. And the group of veterans that they have are as good as there is in the league.
You know, it reminds me a little bit, Julius, of the teams that the Lakers used to have their greatness when we were playing them, and they had 8 players that were basically like 11 because they were so versatile and flexible. They had guys that played multiple positions, and I see them leaning a little bit more to that. It would be a great luxury if a guy like Magic Johnson could play a little forward this year with Tony Smith and Teagle 3 down the floor. It could really make them a lot different ball club.
Yeah, you see them doing that now in this particular exhibition. They had Tony Smith and Teagle 3 out there at the same time. 3 was running the point, and Magic played forward. So I think they are going to experiment with that. And, you know, the key there is to be able to freely substitute and to do it. You know, not play one way during the regular season and then change up when you get to the playoffs.
Terry hits 1 of 2. We get our first look at Terry Teagle into the Laker lineup, wearing number 20, who last year averaged just under 10 points a game, played in all 82 contests as a reserve.
We didn't even mention Terry Teagle. I mean, here's a guy that can score 15, 16 points a game. He scored almost 10 points a game last year, only 18 minutes on the floor. So playing time is going to be very valuable for this Laker team this year. They can throw a lot of different people at you.
Tony Costner's ball away left-hander won't go down. Vlade Divac's a little scoop pass to Freet. AC was looking for an alley-oop. You know, was talking about it. He wanted one. Outlet to Forte. Bouter. Doug has been talking, Doc, about just the level of talent of Limoges. And there are some guys that can play the game here. And that, I think, may surprise some people in the United States as AC Green hits that they've got some very talented players. That Daiquiri is a very good player. And that the competition in the international level is becoming better.
Oh, there's no question about it. It's not quite at parity, but the teams that play for the European Cup could probably go out and play a series of games with an NBA team and be competitive. Probably would win in any series that they play against any of the teams that played in the Final Four. And that is not such a profound statement, but it's a very true statement here in 1991.
You know, Julius, what I saw tonight was, you know, the game obviously has gotten a little bit out of hand right now, but I think that just the depth of the Lakers, they just keep coming at you with 9 players. And this Limoges team, their starting 5 was pretty competitive, and then when they went to the bench, the AC Greens, the Tony Smith, the Teagle 3, the Eldon Campbells really took over the game, and then now the starters come back in, and they just don't have enough energy to try to put this team away.
Yeah, enough energy or enough talent. In terms of the French team, they don't have the depth, don't have the personnel, and you know, of course the whole emotional level with Michael Brooks, Tony Costner. You know, these are guys who played in the NBA, so you know they're going to come out sky high, and of course they're going to offer some resistance. But the Lakers are a very, very special team, and they've always been able to score points in bunches. They've always been able to play defense for 2 or 3 minute spurts, in which they just take a team totally out of what they want to do. And sitting over there, you know, I looked at the score, it was 34-31. Suddenly I looked up, and the Lakers had 54 and had only given up 6 points.
Well, they led by 5 at the end of 1. They were up by 18, which could have been a lot less than that, but they put on a run late in the second. Now they've just really taken control here in the third quarter. Teagle has a vote. He now has 4.
You know, for watching this tournament the last 4 years, one of the things that's given the NBA team a little bit of trouble in the final game and the second day is if the first game was easy. So, good point.
Yeah, last year New York had to really struggle to get into the final game. They won in overtime and really handily beat the Yugoplastica split team at that time last year.
Yeah, last year was the exception. The first game was tough. It made the second game easy. But each of the previous years, that first game was a little bit of a struggle.
100-72 inside of 45 seconds of the third quarter. Lakers exploding in this quarter, holding Limoges to just 23 points so far. And Terry Teagle wraps up Bruno Lejeune. Teagle's first personal foul. The Lakers are in an enviable situation too, Doug. They've got 11 roster spots pretty much set. They've got a bunch of guys fighting for that 12th spot right now. I'm sure in the fourth quarter we're going to be seeing those. Yeah. That's a lot of people. I don't have enough room in my scorebook here. So Mikey's got to get rid of these guys in a hurry.
I think it's a nice thing to bring all 16 over here.
Oh, yeah.
Because even with 4 guys who are going to get cut, this isn't a bad trip for guys who aren't going to be around all year. Great gesture on the part of the Lakers, and they brought their wives or girlfriends with them as well.
Campbell's first 2 of the second half. He has 9 for the ball game inside of 20 seconds as you look at the Laker bench.
Now, we used to play our exhibitions in Hershey, Pennsylvania, not Paris. Things have
I remember
changed.
Gulfport, Mississippi. That was kind of nice. Nice white sand down there.
Take a bus trip to Hershey and bus back with some hoagies after the game. That was a big night in the NBA and exhibition when we played.
Well, Dr. J, we appreciate you taking the time out here as the Lakers are going to end up the third quarter way on top 104-73. And the work you're doing overseas here for the NBA not only helps the NBA, but it helps all of basketball, both on the collegiate level and the professional level. And for those as fans, thank you so much for making it so big over here.
He's one of the all-time class guys right here.
That.
Nice to have a friend like this.
You got it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Tony Smith hits it. I tell you, I've had a chance to talk to him a couple times, Doug, and I still get chills sitting next to him.
Well, I got a chance to watch and play with him, and it's even a better thrill because the guy came to play every night. He was a spectacular player, and I wish these people got a chance to see him play in his prime because there was no one any better.
Well, we played 3 quarters, and the Lakers, who averaged just 106 points a game last year, for the season have 106 already, and we still have 12 minutes to go. They lead it 106-73. We've been showing you the Lakers around Paris, France. Records you think of one man, Magic Johnson.
Well, 19 assists tonight breaks the old record of 17 by Tony Kukoc set last year against Barcelona. So Magic Johnson, congratulations. And it's always nice when someone breaks those unselfish records. The assist is such an unselfish statistics, and there's Magic's wife who's over here enjoying, I guess, sort of a late honeymoon for them.
That's right. Just recently got married, and Magic, hopefully we'll have a chance to hear from him, an interview we do with him, talking about how Cookie's out spending his money, which is one of the hysterical interviews I think you and I have ever heard. Well, the Lakers also have a chance now at breaking the most points in a game set by the Denver Nuggets, which is 137, and I think they got a shot at that.
Oh, yes, especially if there's a lot of garbage time here in the fourth quarter. If the game is up and down, Terry Teagle with a baseline jumper. So he's come in off the bench and hit 2 quick jump shots. This guy's instant offense. I know sometimes that phrase is overused, but this is a guy who can get hot in a hurry and carry you for 6-7 minutes at a time.
Teagle completes the 3-point play. Divac sits down. He has 23 points, 12 rebounds, hit his first 10 shots. Well-deserved rest. We've got a lot of collision of bodies on the floor as Dr. E goes down. AC Green helps him up. 109-75 is our score. Lakers 31-12 on fast break points. If we look at Divac, 19-4 fast break points in that third quarter. Ostrowski. He gets inside, and all of a sudden he sees all these redwoods coming around him.
Well, and Campbell's a terrific shot blocker. You see him block 3 shots in that one sequence. Now get out on the break. If he gets the pass, he'll get a dunk.
And he looked for the dunk, but he is fouled on the play.
That sequence right there sort of typifies the capabilities of Eldon Campbell. 3 shots, either changes or deflections or blocks, gets out in the lane, runs the left lane, gets the pass, and tries to dunk the basketball and gets fouled. I mean, that's the type of ability he has. The important thing for him now is to consistently be able to display that, and in order to do that, he's going to have to concentrate a little bit better.
Well, AC Green will sit down and we'll get our first look at Keith Owens, the 22-year-old out of UCLA at 6'7", 225, a free agent.
Now, this is a real story. This Keith Owens, he walked on at UCLA as a freshman, earned a scholarship by his sophomore year, led the Pac-10 in block shots as a senior, and now is trying to make the Lakers as a free agent. So if he does this, you're talking about a dream. Keith Owens would be living it.
The Lakers have just about 11 spots locked up. And Keith Owens is one of those fighting for that 12th spot, along with Demetrius Caleb, and Tony Farmer, and draft pick Anthony Jones out of Oral Roberts, and Irving Thomas.
See, there's Eldon Campbell coming over to give help again and block another shot. The guy has terrific explosion.
Then we have a foul called, and that'll be on Tony Smith. Ostrowski inside, and Michael Brooks, who's been very quiet lately, finally gets to. He only has 4 here in the second half. 14 for the ball game. Brooks, whose best year was back in '82 when he averaged 15 points, 7 rebounds a game at San Diego.
Little zone defense here again by Limoges. Penetration by Tony Smith. He'll get the loose ball foul.
Owens tried to go with a follow slam, was not able to get it. How about 11 alive? They've made it.
Well, you look at Magic Johnson, Worthy, Perkins, the list of 11, and you think now there are 5 guys who are fighting for one spot. And those will be the guys in exhibition and the rest of this training camp who will try to make the team. This is them: Anthony Jones, Tony Farmer, Irving Thomas, who played with the Lakers last year, Demetrius Caleb, who probably is a long shot as another guard, and Keith Owens, who they like very much.
Roll won't go down. Daiquiri can't get it to go, and the rebound comes down to Campbell. Daiquiri is hurting. He got the wind knocked out of him.
Terry Teagle loves that baseline. That's his spot.
No basket, says Keith Owens. We're going to have a foul over the back, and that'll be on Owens. That is his first personal. Laker bench relaxing. They put in a good 36 minutes. Magic yelling, getting out the cheers. Says how much fun he's had here. Said he went about 20 minutes without anybody recognizing him, as Smith gets to.
What you see here right now, this Laker team, Smith and Sedale freed up, something the Lakers couldn't do last year. Get up and pressure the ball. Look at the pressure Sedale Freed is putting on the point guard. He used 7 seconds to get the ball up the court. Now the clock winds and works against you. You really can't run a play. And although Ostrowski scores, there really was no play run. It breaks down because time is used on the clock to get the ball up against pressure.
Hey, Magic paid him the biggest compliment the other day, Doug, when we were talking to him. Says he's the kind of player I hated playing against. He was always around you, bothering you.
Well, he has such tremendous lateral quickness. That's the kind you need to be able to play good, solid defense.
Sedale, the 3 doesn't get it. Out with the Forte.
Sedale's not in shape yet. He's about 6-7 pounds heavier than he wants to be right now, so he'll work himself even to better shape than he is right now.
2 weeks from today, the NBA regular season opens up, and of course we will open it up here on TNT, kicking it off at 8 o'clock Eastern time with Chicago and Philadelphia. Doug and I will be there for that ball game. Don't forget, though, we also have a Hall of Fame game coming your way, October 29th with Miami.
There's again the baseline jumper, Terry Teagle. He really likes that spinning jump shot. That's the one he really hits even better.
Now we have a whistle and a foul, and just a reminder, don't forget we have another game coming your way of international basketball. We'll have Split taking on Badalona. That'll be immediately following this contest. A young Yugoslavian team trying to take on one of the best in all of Spain. Badalona led by Villacampa. Paul Presley, Corny Thompson, former NBA players, also on that squad. Nine points in the second half for Ostrowski. He has 21, give him 22 for the contest.
Good-looking player. I really like this Stefan Ostrowski. He's, again, a fine forward, and I can see one in this French league where he would be a very dominant player. There's that spinning baseline jumper. There it is right there. Thank you, Terry.
Teagle now with 11.
These guys from Baylor all are instant offense, right? Terry Teagle, Vinny Johnson. He's something in the water down there.
Jim Halley was a great coach down there at Baylor. And those guys are down there. Jack Haley will come into the lineup for the Lakers at the next break in the action as Sedale Street picks Daiquiri's pocket. Shaking and bacon to Smith.
Alley-oop, alley-oop. Oh, he should have took it high.
Mbaya went hard to the hole, but Keith Owens wasn't going to let him get the jam, and we have a whistle and a foul. That'll be on Owens. That'll be his first.
I want to see Mbaya get up that time. That was a perfect play for him to take the ball right at the defense, throw it to the sky, and let him just take it home.
We'll get our first look at Jack Haley, the third-year pro out of UCLA, a 27-year-old. 4 round draft pick in '87 by Chicago, the 79th player chosen, played in Europe.
I coached Jack for a year, his first year in Chicago, and I really liked him on the team. He's a guy who came to practice every day. He worked very hard. He'll put a body on you. He rebounds very well. He's a guy that will get in there and change the game around a little bit simply by making action. And it's not always good action, but he will change the game.
Great pass from Forte to Daiquiri. Jack Haley knows his role. He told us that his hero is Kurt Rambis, and that's what he understands his role is for Los Angeles. He knows he won't get the big minutes, but he accepts that. As Teagle has a piece of masking tape down there on the far side.
Oh, that little zone defense, he's shooting it right out.
13 now for Teagle, all here in the second half.
There's the alley-oop to Daiquiri, back pick. Beautiful play for the slam dunk. Good to see him get that kind of opportunity. This is the 14th year with Limoges, so for him to be able to play against the Los Angeles Lakers here basically at home, it's nice to see him get this kind of opportunity. I'm sure it's something he'll always remember. Even though they're not going to win the basketball game, still it's an exciting moment.
Just a reminder, coming up October 29th, right here on TNT at 8 o'clock, will be the Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat in the Hall of Fame game. Join us for that one. Rudy Brown and I will be there. Checking into the Laker lineup now, the rookie second-round draft pick out of Oral Roberts University, Anthony Jones, wearing number 2. Playing for Ken Trickey at Oral Roberts, you know this man can shoot the ball.
He can do that.
You can't do that.
He's taking dribbling now.
He's got shooting down, dribbling maybe a problem. Daiquiri with the right hand, doesn't get it. Jack Haley, a surfer from Huntington Beach. Off the glass for 2. Maybe because he really couldn't believe that he became a Laker since he grew up there at Huntington Beach. Went to Palm Springs for camp. But it really didn't hit me. 4-on-1. Street to Jones. Not much of a shot. We've got a timeout. 6:32 left to be played. It's all the Lakers. Basketball game, but it's also his honeymoon with his wife Cookie, and he talked about the fact Cookie is taking advantage of this trip in Paris.
You know, I look at it two ways. I say, okay, now if I had paid for it, then it would have been very expensive. But since I didn't pay for the plane tickets, I don't pay for my meals or the hotel, I'm already about $20,000-$25,000 out of the hole. So if she spends the other $20,000-$25,000 shopping, I'm cool. I'm all right. Because I'd rather pay $20,000 than $50,000. Okay? So I told her, I said, look, honey, I said, you know, I'm not paying for all these other things. That means you can spend more. So you go ahead and have a good time. And I won't spend anything. I'll just wait and spend mine later. So all the money I got for losing to Michael and the Bulls, she got it. So she got that whole check.
Well, nobody has recognized him, and now he's waving to the crowd. And they love it.
I tell you, if Mike Dunleavy put Magic Johnson back in the game right now, he's so stiff, he couldn't jump over that free throw line right now after sitting down and putting the kind of minutes. He is so stiff.
Remember I guess it was 2 years ago, you and I had the playoff game at the shoot-around the day of the game after they had played tonight, where he could hardly walk.
Yeah, a lot of mileage on those legs. We were talking the other day about Magic. You figure 10 NBA seasons, he played about 1,000 games. That's equivalent to 30 college seasons. So that tells you exactly the wear and tear and the miles you put on your body in the NBA, not counting practices, shoot-around, and flights.
That's right. He was shocked when you told him that stat. He kind of gave you a look like you're kidding. As Tony Farmer, number 5, checks in, the rookie free agent out of Nebraska. 6'9", 225. Keith Owens sits down, so Mike Dunleavy getting a look at some of his younger players.
Now, Demetrius Caleb can score. He's the third leading scorer in the Big Ten.
He's out of Michigan, stands 6'1". Here comes Forte. Caleb tried to get a hand on it. Bruno Lejeune. Ostrowski. And with 5:49 left to be played in the ball game, Lakers will advance to the finals. That'll be played tomorrow. And a look at Limoges, a town that is famous for, believe it or not, porcelain and the painting of porcelain. Also the home of Renoir, born there in 1841. I had to get that in. I've been waiting all night.
Renoir, you start giving them those names.
Hey, we saw some of that, went to the Louvre. No pictures of dogs playing cards in the Louvre, however. No Elvis paintings. Ostrowski gets them both. He's having a pretty good game despite the score. 137 is the record for most points. Haley is stuffed right back by Tony Costner. The three won't go down. Rebound. Haley battles for it. Michael Brooks ties him up. Brooks will be whistled for the foul. This one. I'm sure this is quite a letdown for Limoges because yesterday at the practice they were very excited.
But you know what? They have to be pretty well pleased at the way they competed tonight. I mean, they came out early and were competitive. It was a 13-point game with about 2 minutes to go in the half. The Lakers hit them with a little spurt, and since then they've really never recovered. But you expect that because the Lakers are going to wear you down. Limoges just does not have the bench. And so what happens is the starters start to get tired, and in the third quarter they just get wore down, and the Lakers just keep running the ball right at them. As a result, the game was blown wide open. But you cannot, quarrel with their effort tonight. They did all they could do.
Ostrowski with a strong move. Haley says, hey, he pushed me, no call. The Oaks of the NBA makes the call, and Ostrowski will go back to the line. He already has 8 trips to the stripe, and he's perfect.
Well, you just jinxed him, so.
I know. Preseason, I'm allowed. Excuse me.
Well, I guess you did.
From high above the Palais Omnisport de Paris, you better say. And Ostrowski gets them both. And they want Vlade Divac. They're chanting Vlade. The Magic stands up.
No, they can chant Magic. That's probably French for magic.
Well, I got the French word for magic. It didn't sound like that. Well, 45 left. Lakers by 31. Jones with the block. However, Brooks completes the play. Brooks now with 16 points. Playground basketball. Jones with his first 2. The Limoges teams, as we mentioned, in their season already. It's 6-1 as Brooks misses the shot. They reached the European Final Four last year for the very first time. 3 of the last 4 years, this team has been the French champion.
Jack Haley will use his fouls up now. I want to tell you, Ron, he's not going to leave them in the bag. So.
Ostrowski sits down and Bouter comes back into the lineup.
That's Stefan Ostrowski. I like his game. I think he's a fine player. You watch him in practice, you think this guy's too thin to play around the basket, but he's got fine moves, he's got good quickness, he's got good leaping ability, 10 for 10 from the free throw line, so obviously he gets fouled. We have to like what he brings this team. I see why he's the top flight scorer over here.
I'm not going to say who they're chanting for now because I don't understand it, but they're chanting for somebody on the Laker bench. And he gets the board. Early last year averaged 5 points, 6 points a contest. For New Jersey, played in 78 contests. And the Lakers will have it with 3:54 showing on the game clock. They're going to have to really hustle to get that 137.
Yeah, the action has slowed down a little bit here.
Goes from way outside. They can get it. What a bad looking move by Bruno Lejeune, the 28-year-old. Time to start talking about what we've had.
Well, I think the one thing that, these guys who are on the floor right now are battling to make this team. They don't want to do anything silly. I mean, you've got Irving Thomas, Anthony Jones, Demetrius Caleb, Tony Farmer, they're all being judged right now on how they're playing. So,
taking on Badalona of Spain. Jack Haley is, I'd have to say, bad three-point shooter.
well, you know what? The 1 year in Chicago, he actually shot the ball pretty well, but it looks like he's got too much of his left hand on the ball right now, almost a two-handed release.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
You know, and he needs to get that left hand off the ball and get the follow through with his right hand.
Oh, Chicago, he was that was his best year, 78%.
I knew it, see.
Caleb kicks it out. Tony Farmer's shot won't go down. Haley can't get the follow, and we'll have a whistle and a follow, and that'll be on Farmer for Danny Nee at Nebraska.
Tony Farmer started out, I think, at San Jose State. He transferred to Nebraska, had a very good junior year there, and then struggled with some things his senior year. So he was an early out into the draft, and he's hoping to be able to make this team. He's got some talent. But you know what? It's right spot at the right time in this league, and if you get on the wrong team and you can't make it, you've got to stick with it, because there's a lot of guys who their first time around might get cut. But if they're willing to go and work on their games and continue to improve, they have a chance to stick in this league. Big thing is, can you persevere? Can you pay the price, maybe to be in the smaller towns and ride the buses and do all the things it has to do to get you back in the big time?
There's life after a 10-day contract for a lot of players. Mario Ely is one.
And look at a guy like Brad Davis. I mean, he went to the CBA and now he's in the NBA I don't know how many years.
His final year in the NBA with the Dallas Mavericks. We'll move to the front office as Bruno Lejeune hits the three. That's his second three of the ball game. He has 8 for the contest. Lakers only 6 of 22 in the fourth quarter. Make it 7 of 23 as Farmer hits the three.
12 points shy of the record now. They need 138. Record 137 held by the Denver Nuggets.
Pounding defensively, Boutar off the glass for 2. Young man who didn't play last year had major foot surgery. Doesn't look all that rusty as Haley can't get it to go. Boutar with the rebound. Inside of 2 minutes, 25-point Laker lead. They've led by a lot more than that. Here comes Caleb. Got Jones on the left.
There will not be a foul called here unless there's a limb fractured or a nose displaced.
No autopsy, no foul.
These guys have been in the league too long.
Billy Oakes will probably let them play. 134. This is the last game, of course, that the pros play a European team prior to the 92 Olympics in Barcelona. And this is the dream team. Those that have committed to this. And first of all, your thoughts. Do you think all those will show up?
I think the guys will all play unless there's an injury. I think all those guys are looking forward to playing. I know there's been a lot of speculation that these 10, they don't think that all those guys are going to be there, that maybe some guy might not play, but I really believe these guys are all going to want to play. And you look through the list of possibly being chosen, you see Shaquille O'Neal, Christian Laettner, and then some other NBA players. Chris Collins, I like it. Yeah, you guys are all right. Now I can go home.
Future Duke star, we might add.
You guys are all right. I don't care what anybody else says.
I think Mike Krzyzewski just had a heart attack on it, too. What about the fact, though, Doug, that Hubie Brown and I talked about it at Pan Am at great length, the fact that the game's going from 48 minutes, the NBA game, to 40 minutes with only 2 timeouts. How is that going to affect guys like Magic and Ewing and these guys that aren't going to get the big minutes in an Olympic game?
Well, I think these guys are all in it for one reason. That's to win a gold medal as I almost get hit by the ball. And I think that this is the first Olympics that the pros are playing in, obviously. They're going to go over there, and they're going to do all the right things. They're going to say the right things. They're going to do the right things. They're going to be coachable. They're going to be unselfish. Because they don't want to hear any backlash of, well, see, the pros, and now it's taken away from the college kids. So I think it's going to be great. I think Chuck Daly and his coaches are going to do a terrific job. And I think we're going to blow people away. I don't think it's going to be any contest. I just don't see how anybody can put together a team that can match those 10 players right there. I don't see any possible way.
The fact that a lot of times in Europe, a lot of coaches want to stick to an 8-man lineup, and that leaves a couple of guys sitting on the bench.
Well, I agree with that, Ron, from one standpoint, but you know what? These guys understand what the circumstances are when they're chosen. So it's not like they don't know what the ground rules are. They know there are 10 great players. And, probably Michael and Magic, a couple of the guys might get the little bit more minutes than anybody else. But I think that Chuck Daly and Coach K and the rest of the coaches are going to do a good job trying to keep these guys on the floor as much as they possibly can. It's going to be very difficult, but if anybody can do it, I think those guys can.
A lot of excitement. I know one team that's anxiously awaiting any type of game with the United States, and that's Puerto Rico. Won the Pan Am games with Ramon Rivas, Junior Ortiz.
See, the one thing I look at that team, and I see you have a speed team. You can put out Magic at a point guard, Michael Jordan as your 2 guard, Scottie Pippen as your small forward, Charles Barkley as your power forward, and David Robinson, and go strictly with speed. Or you can get into a half-court game and come in with John Stockton, Chris Mullin, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone, and Larry Bird. I mean, you've got 3-point shooting, you've got power, you've got speed, and you remember the 3-point line now is not even going to be 22 feet. I think it's 20 feet 9 inches. So, I mean, that's going to be like easy shooting for our pros they're used to almost 4 feet further back.
Keith Owens takes the hard way down on 2 free throws. Don't forget, he's got Slobodna. Splits coming up. Badalona. Costner's shot will go down, and we're inside of 10 seconds. Apparently the record will be safe at 137, but 132 is a lot of points for LA. And they'll advance to tomorrow's finals against the winner of Yugoslavia Split and Badalona, Spain. As time runs out, goes into the hands, a little underneath pass, and the Lakers have game number 1 in the bag, and it was an impressive third quarter for Los Angeles. They win it, the final, the Lake Dunleavy and the LA Lakers, 132 to 101.